Hello, everybody. I hope y'all doing wonderful. I am going to talk a little bit about, y'all know I just did a live and had cut it short because my son just came out of therapy. And y'all, when I tell y'all, I can talk days about my children. Obviously, y'all know. This little rascal, that's what he is. He didn't want to do anything great. Hey, Mystery, with his therapy today, y'all. And when I tell y'all, she had came back and she said he wasn't bad. She didn't use bad. He was difficult, and he wanted to fall out, and he wanted to do what he wanted to do, and the list goes on. And we're talking, and she said, then she told me, y'all, she heard the nose and the move, like she's trying to say move, and she was like more excited that he's doing this, y'all. I was like, that's not a great thing. He's telling you no and move. That's not a good thing. But she was more excited about it than me. Like, so I took him back to daycare, and y'all. And another thing, I have to be more mindful and more patient with. He is. I am slowly throwing away pacifiers, and he is still a pacifier baby. And y'all, it's like he's getting more edgy and more short patience than anything. Hey, old son. So now that's what I'm having dealing with, y'all. So, y'all, if I have meltdowns because of him, I really do have meltdowns. He's the most beautiful little big-eyed baby I ever saw in my life. And y'all, and I thought he was not my child and he probably felt that way because I'm like, hey, who baby is this? What I'm okay, so I'm gonna tell y'all a little history. I delivered him by myself. And not like I had a C-section. I mean, I didn't have anybody with me. So it took them like forever to let me see this child. Okay. So I'm like cutting up high off of whatever they gave me. And that was a good high, y'all. I ain't even gonna lie. That's a good high. And y'all chasing after a high. And that's the high that y'all need to chase after. Go ask for a C-section. That's a good high. But I didn't see him about like I'm gonna say stitched up and ready to go. Can you feel this? Like, no. Where's my baby? So they send me this high yellow baby. And I was like, that's not my baby. The doctor is like now, like, she's out of it. Don't give her the child. That's not my baby. I'm I'm sitting there. Now, be honest with you, the nurse came and she was with me that whole nurse that was like, I'm in labor, take this thing out of me. And that's what I really said, like, take this thing out of me. And and I'm sitting here literally having a conversation. And for me, I felt like this can't be real. Like now I'm doing flashbacks. People say you don't remember some things, but yeah, you do. You know that you're a bitch when you're delivering a child. Like most people, they know when they're a pain in the ass. Okay. You don't just no, sometimes you generally are nice to people. Definitely you're in pain and you know that you need the drugs. Okay, you need something to stop it. You are not, I always say, people that act like they got a cuss and stuff, they just a pain in the ass in real life. Okay. But no, but when I saw this little baby, I was like, that's not mine. He is too light. But he is so precious, y'all. He was so precious to me. I could never trade him in. And when I say trade in, I really think that we can trade children in like cars. Because y'all, there's some parents I know that some parents would trade their kids in if they could. Y'all nobody don't start no trade in children, okay? Jazz be the first one. Jazz will be the first one to trade her children in, y'all. Y'all, with this last video, it told me everything I needed to know. Okay, she did a live, and she basically talks about no internet. Okay, no internet. And for the last, I didn't even look at the whole video, y'all, so I can know exactly what I'm talking about. And then it moved like I skipped, like maybe mid laugh, Jazz is laying down. And I said, okay, this is a different topic. Okay. She was talking about the bugs and the spiders and the mosquitoes and stuff like that. And thank you, Mr. Helen. No, darling. Sarah, I'm looking for an upgrade then. I'll be looking for a downgrade. Give me a 2-day-old baby, please. You can have this. I'm going downgrading. Yeah, just imagine. You know what, Sarah? Sarah, there's going to be somebody that is definitely going to start thinking about that. Like, hey, let's do a trade in for children. And you'll be surprised how many people will upgrade and downgrade their kids in a heartbeat. It ain't even funny, okay? Some people will automatically upgrade older because they were like, yes, I only got like a little bit of time with these kids. Great. They can potty train themselves and stuff like that. But it'll be the cruel parents that just don't like the cruel parents that have to take time with their children. They will be the ones that will automatically upgrade all the time. Okay. What's wrong with him? He stares at people, he don't talk, or he has something wrong with him. So back to Jazz. So she sits there, and when she gets on here, aka that means Chris is not near. Chris hasn't picked up. Chris haven't talked to her. She probably sent him 7 pictures of that rib that she bought at Sam's Club. Like she changed it in different sizes, like different positions, like from the front to the back to the side, a long in picture, a out picture. She sent him the works. Say, hey babe, can you cook this? Oh, this is waiting for you. Do I need to put it in the freezer? That is Jazz. She will send him a thread of rib pictures and thread of decision questions for him. Okay. And so that's what it means. And he haven't talked to her. And he might have talked to her, but it's not the conversation that Jazz wants him to talk to her about. And y'all, we all been there. You know how some of us, we've been with our husband, or we got a boyfriend, or we got a significant other, and sometimes we just want him to talk to us whatever we want to talk about, and it's not going there. So Jazz, you're not the only woman that's lonely, and you're not finding what you need from your companion. You can talk about that, and you literally, people will love to hear how women adapt to that. You're not going to be the only woman that can't get through their man, and it's okay. It's okay. You can talk about that. You can actually have a group with women, because I'm saying this, I know majority of the ladies that listen to me has a significant other, don't have nonsense with guys. They don't push, they're not a pushover. But the ladies that's in your chat and tell you how great Chris is, they might are just similar like you. And you can have a very great conversation instead of laying down talking about mosquitoes on a live. Be honest with your viewers. You say you want them real and raw, baby. Give them real and raw. Tell them, hey, how do I do this? How do I find a connection with this man that we have a kid together and so and so. Don't waste people's time with nonsense. Okay, so you didn't have internet, aka she didn't know how to hook it up or something happened. Okay, it looked like she got a different, like a $50 internet. That's what it looks like. It don't look like she has like a major stream like we have Spectrum here. There are some people have Cox. I don't think she got those types of internet services. I think it might be like a something like a was it T-Mobile? Because I'm just touching T-Mobile. They're $50. I was like, well, I can't beat that. She said can I get these cupcakes? Was like Mama Duke's Fun Sons Club, and then she's changed it up and said, then I'm buying it. I ain't never been here, but you can, and you said I can get. You know what? It's I watched it, but I didn't listen to a conversation. I scanned through it to see what she picked up. Obviously, like I said in my live last night, she didn't win. She failed. She failed that task of being a haul, a YouTuber hauler. That's what I would call them, that makes haul videos. You failed terribly. You've been on this YouTube street since Methuselah became the first president of something. And you obviously don't know how to shop. That's crazy. Oh. But back to her kid. Now, we're gonna make this really quick and short. Um, you don't have time to help your children to succeed, Jazz. That's something I got from that second part you laying down. Well, the kids got a field trip, and they said that Aiden can't go because he needs adults. Yeah, I'm drinking something. I'm gonna tell you this, Jazz. Stop trying to blame the teacher for your child's behavior. Take accountability for your child's behavior. See, what that means tells me a lot. You're not an active parent when it comes to Aiden, or you or Philip. You're not active. Hey, Toy, not at all. When they tell you, y'all, when I tell y'all something, I mean this from the bottom of my heart. My daughter was a very bad little girl. And I tell her this, and she laughs and she smiles and she don't remember. And they used to call me up to school every day. She's crying and she hitting and she's dancing and she's singing. They will call me for everything. And then they put my little child in the special ed class, and she loved it. Y'all, this is true life story. She loved it. She got to she got on the she got on the bus by herself. Like literally. She got on a bus by herself. She got on the bus at like 6 o'clock, 6:45, and she loved it. And she came home and she was happy. And then y'all, when it was time for graduation, they kicked her out of special ed class. They was like, no, the teachers just don't know how to deal with her. But we're gonna give you some pointers. What? How y'all? I never knew a kid got get kicked out of special ed, but this child right here got kicked out. Okay, but y'all, when I took that that teacher's pointers, my child did a 360. Now it took her some time and some years, but I put her in a different school setting. I made sure that she was her own person, her own identity, and I became active with my child. Did anybody of her teachers ever call me to say, hey, my child was in such an education in preschool? This is preschool, y'all. This is not kindergarten. This is preschool. And when I said she was still a little, she's a little bit tighter now because she was like a wild child, like, yeah, you know. But now she's really quiet and to herself. She was not the same little girl that was talking and wanted to draw her teachers, y'all. I'm gonna tell y'all a quick story before I get off. I will never forget this. But but I was active when she was in kindergarten and preschool. She was in preschool, and all the other kids was very amazing. They sat still, they listened, but my child didn't. She was the only child. She was sheltered, and she was in her own world with her grandparents and I. And hey, that teacher helped me to break that world and help her to be a child in the structure world of school. Jazz, you don't do that with your children. Aiden gets on your nerves, and we see it. The sad part about it is, I'm sorry, y'all. The sad part about it is, he will never be able to, with you around, and his father, he will never be able to see his potential. That is so sad. You crying about the teachers telling you to come and sit with your child at a field trip. Y'all, I am ecstatic. I wish my kids would invite me to a field trip. I'm like, yo, can I go on your field trip? No, I'm too old for a chaperone. That's creepy. Pedophile. That's my second son that will say something like that. That's creepy. But I would love to have another field trip day with my children. And you sticking your nose up? I see why those people allow you. But Judge, you had options. Just like they gave you options. You had options. You could, before this field trip, you could have been an active parent and gave the teachers a peace of mind that, hey, the mother is understanding. The mother is willing to help. But they forced it. They forced it on you and say, hey, your child is too much liability away from in public. You didn't think of that. That made you look very shitty as a parent. And I can't understand why somebody is still trying to pop it, bust it open, flip it down, lick it up to have another baby. And you don't even want to go on a field trip with your child. Yourself. Self this. I'm taking legendary. Don't take legendary. Have time with you and your son. Because Aiden, I'm not Aiden, but Ava seems like she's okay. And mama, she sees mama, hey mama. But Aiden is the one that needs you. Not Stinkerbug. Not Urban Legend. Not the king. Not Hip Son. But Aiden needs his mother. Or his father, who came first. Need to understand, or you could have did this. And my son is English is a very the one that I would kick his butt for making me lose money for our field trip. Because in his school, they get in trouble In the process of a field trip, they're not allowed to go and you lose your money. That it should be. That it should be. Um, if he lose a field, I pay that field trip at the very last hour that I can pay it. Okay, and he knows if you I lose my money for this field trip, I don't care if this field trip is going to the library. Because sometimes they make them pay for like $5. It depends on the library they go. Like if they go long distance, it's like $5 field trip, and it's cool. And then they can eat at the park and stuff like that. Hey, it's cool. But at the end of the day, he knows that his behavior, if he don't have a good behavior, he fights or he acts up, he loses his privilege for a field trip. That's what happens. But Aiden seemed like he got in trouble recently that made them say, "Hey, if your child can go on this field trip, but you got to be there because if he starts cutting up and acting like he did, you're going to be reliable for this child, and it should be." But Jazz, take accountability for your kids. That is not the teacher's problem. And for some odd reason, you think everything falls on somebody else than the mother and the father. You think everything falls on everybody else. The teachers go home, they have to deal with their own life. They can't deal with your child not behaving. But y'all, before I bounce, I'm gonna tell y'all a cute little story about my daughter. So she was in third grade. Third grade, second grade. I want to say second grade, y'all. Second grade. She had this short teacher, and y'all, she had glasses, and she was cockeyed. Y'all, my daughter, my daughter was at the time that she drew. Like she used to draw these little cute little characters, and y'all, when she draw. That was her outlet, and she still has an outlet, y'all. She sits on the porch in my apartment. She sits on the little balcony area, and she just zooms out. And I'm like, okay, she can do that. But do you do this at school? She'll probably tell me no, but I know she does. But she zones out. She plays her music. She writes and she doodles. She makes story. What she does. But y'all, one day, her teacher got so mad with her. And my daughter sent her a picture, drew her a picture, and she thought my daughter was being funny. I'm like, no, she has an innocent heart. And she didn't understand it. She thought it was like she's being rude. But my daughter drew her a picture, and she's short enough. The kids are taller than her at this time. Her teacher's really short. And my daughter drew a picture of her with glasses and cockeyed it. Y'all, I don't know what did not stop me from giggling at that principal's office. All I could think of was like, why do I discipline her? And she said, "Mom, that's my teacher. I wasn't making fun of her." Well, I was like, Leah, oh my gosh. When I tell you I had to go to the principal's office for this picture, I had to go to the principal's office for this picture. When I tell you, she's now my daughter has a late birthday. She has a late birthday. So she was a little bit older. But I think the teacher already had like some type of not really issues with her, I would say. Not really much issues with her. She just was very space. She was a space cadet. And so, but for some odd reason, this teacher thought my child was literally making fun of her. I was like, no, she draws what she sees. Sorry. But y'all, when I tell you the picture, The teacher is shorter, and she got an arrow with her teacher's name and her and one of the little girls, like one of her best friends in the classroom. And the teacher eyes was one was up here, the other one was down here. Y'all, I said, when she said, I would like for Leah, the person was like, I would like for Leah to explain this picture to us. And I was like, well, how did she give it to you? Like, and then she's like, well, she said, I got a present for you. And I said, did she make fun of it? Did she giggle? She's like, no. So why would you think that she's making fun of you? She said, oh, because, a couple of kids are crossing their eyes. And I was like, oh my gosh, this poor child. I'm like, but for some odd reason, I think the principal was laughing. I was laughing inside. But y'all, let's say she did not teach again. I haven't seen her at that school after that year. I don't know what's going on, but I was like, I fought the school because they should known better than put that teacher in that grade class with these beautiful mind kids. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. Like, there's some students can deal with certain things. Give that teacher to the fifth grade class or the sixth grade class, but you don't give that to a second grader. They fresh off the boat. But y'all have a beautiful day. I will see y'all another day. Jazz, this is my final thought. Jazz, I hope you enjoyed your field trip with your son. I hope y'all had plenty of memories. But don't allow somebody to force you to have memories with your children. That is the worst thing you could do when you look back and you dread something. Nobody should, nobody should never make you feel like it's an option to be there for your children. Doesn't matter if it's a small assembly, if it is a hey, your child is sick, you should always be there. And also, Jazz, this is what's going to help a little bit earlier, later. If you decide to allow a child to stay home from a day with you, even though you with Legendary, if you allow your kids to stay home like a day, like maybe like, hey, Kaylin, do you feel like going to school today? F perfect attendance. It's about them spending time with you. Because when they grow up, they grow up. Then your accountability is thrown in the trash. They will have to face their own accountability. And if Aiden is worse in preschool, I can only imagine how he's going to be in fifth grade. In fifth grade, they start charging people. And they don't just, if your child did something, they start charging the parents. Trust me, in my county, if your child does something, the parents can go to jail for it. Let your child vandalize something of a teacher's or the school, the parents can get handcuffed. Just rethink about that. So when somebody tell you have to be at somebody's school or you have to be there, just be there. And be there being grateful that you can see your child. Because some people, they can't see their children. The system got their children. Because they were so busy, caught up in a man's ass than their child. That is sad. That's your new reality. Or can be. You thought Chrissy's was bad. She didn't know what her daughter was, her daughter's phone. Imagine not being able to contact your children because your child did something stupid in school, gave somebody a threat, and now the state got them because you don't have any control of them. Because now they sit back and they look at all your IEPs for your son, because that's exactly what they're going to do. You didn't show up, strike one. You don't make meetings, strike two. You don't comply with the teachers, strike three. Your child is now awarded to the state. So if he still has an IP, that follows with him. And when he makes bad choices, that makes you look very poorly. You think it's a joke now. Ask any mother and father that can't get their child out of the system for whatever reason. And it doesn't matter where your finances is. They take wealthier kids just like they take poor kids. They take teachers' kids just like they'll take a YouTuber child. You are not exempt from real life, Jazz. For some odd reason, you get on here and you feel like you're exempt from it, but until it really comes and bites you in the ass. Take care of your kids, love your kids. I'm y'all. Just that's all I have to say with my final thing. Don't don't allow memories to be forced on you. Okay. Y'all have a great day. I have to go pick up these little kiddos, and I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.